Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Solace, a YouTuber based in Accra, Ghana. So if you have this part of your eye, the hooded part of the eye, covering most parts of your lid, your eyelid space, then like me, you have hooded eyes. And today I'm going to be doing the fox eye makeup look on hooded eyes. So if you want to see how I got that done, please stay tuned. Now I'm starting with my eyebrows and I am brushing them upwards with a spoolie. Then I'm going in with a brown pencil. This is just a random brown pencil. You can use any brown pencil. So I am outlining the bottom part first. Then I'm outlining the top part of this as well. Now what I'm doing is I'm starting from the beginning of the brow and I'm outlining it from the bottom and I'm going straight. I'm going outward. I'm not bending it down. I'm going outward. Then I'm going to the top part of the brow. I'm not starting from the beginning this time. And then I'm joining it to the lower part of it. I didn't start from the beginning of the top brow because I want a more natural look for the brow. So filling that in. And then I'm just deepening the front part of the pencil line over there. And what I'm going to do is, as I'm brushing the product into my brows properly, I'm going to be brushing the product from below the front hairs into the hairs in the front, so that is the only pencil product I put in there to give it a more natural look. I hope you get it. Now I'm using this duo brush from Colorbox Cosmetics with the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Toast. And I'm using the rounded parts of this brush to outline my brows. This brush is from Colorbox Cosmetics, which is a Ghanaian brand, a Ghanaian makeup brand in Ghana. And then I'm using the excess of the product on the brush to outline the top of it. So I'm doing the same thing for the other brow. Now I'm going to be joining both the brows together with this concealer to create a unibrow. I do this just so that I have my brows looking the same, especially in size, so that one doesn't look, bigger than the other. So I'm going to be doing the same thing for the top part, joining it together. Now I'm going in with this rounded brush. It's a concealer blending brush from Yoshe Cosmetics, and I'm using it to blend the edges of the concealer. Now I'm applying more of the Toast concealer on my lids to act as a primer for my look today. Blending it with my finger and then blending the edges again with that same concealer blending brush. So I'm going in with this powder, Huda Beauty translucent powder in Coffee Bake. And I'm going to use that to set the concealer on my lids. I'm going into this palette, Juvia's Place. I'm using the Kenya and Madagascar shades from the Nubian 2 palette. And I'm using this angled brush from Yoshe Cosmetics, a Ghanaian makeup brand. And I'm starting from the outer V of my eye, the corner there, and I'm just flicking the product upwards. I'm placing the product and flicking it upwards as well, which is why you need an angled brush. This just makes it easier. So that wasn't pigmented enough for me, so I'm going in with just the Kenya shade right now and with the same brush, and I'm trying to flick it upwards again. With a fox eye, what we are trying to do is lift our eye. That was not enough for me again, so I went in with the Maroon Star Blend powder. I usually use this to contour, but because it's deep, I thought maybe it will help in bringing in more pigment for me. Now I'm using this dual-ended brush, the fluffy part from Colorbox Cosmetics as well. Now this brush is really good. I like it. If you have hooded eyes, it's really good for your eyes. It goes into all kinds of corners, so it works really well. You should try and get their eye brush set. So I'm using this to blend the product onto my eyelid area. So I'm blending it inwards towards the eyelids, but I'm not taking them all the way in. So you can, go back and forth. I kept going back and forth with this till I got the pigments that I wanted. But even with this, I still went in with a black eyeshadow shade to, get it, a bit more pigmented for me. So still blending it in. So I went into the Beauty Treat palette and I took that black shade over there, and I'm going to be using this with the same angled brush. Now what I'm doing is I'm just applying it just to the the first part of the outer V of my eye. I'm not taking it all the way up, just applying it to that to the beginning part of the outer V, and then I am blending it again with this tiny blending brush. So once again, back and forth with it till, I'm satisfied with, with what I get. So now I want this to be sharp, so I am just cleaning it up with a concealer, the same concealer I used in Toast, LA Girl Pro Conceal in Toast. So I'm just trying to make it sharp and blending it downwards. Doing the same thing for the other eye as well. So I'm blending it with my fingers. Now I'm going to my face, so I'm using this Pond's primer on my face, and then I'm setting that with the Huda Beauty translucent powder. Because I have oily skin, I take this step. Now I'm going in with this foundation. It's the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation in 370, I believe. And I'm using this Kabuki foundation brush from Yoshe Cosmetics to blend the product on my face. I usually, I press my chin, my jawline and my neck together so that when I'm blending the foundation, it doesn't create a harsh line on my jawline and it's smooth towards my neck. And then I don't usually apply foundation on my nose and my forehead. What I do is the rest of the product on my nose and forehead, I apply it on that part. Now I'm using this beauty sponge to just blend everything together and make it smooth. This beauty sponge, I believe, is from Bethmein, also a Ghanaian makeup brand. So I'm highlighting the highlighting areas with the same concealer, LA Girl Pro in Toast. and I'm going in to blend it with the beauty sponge. When you are blending under the eyes, it's advisable to look up so that the concealer can go into all the fine lines under your eyes and then go to the corners of your nose as well. So now I'm blending the edges together of the concealer and the foundation so that it's a seamless and smooth transition. And I'm using the brush that I used to blend my foundation. Now I'm going into this Flawless Ivy powder palette, and I'm taking those two colors and I'm using that to set my concealer first. I'm setting my concealer with powders first before I go, pressed powders, before I go in with translucent powders. So now I'm going in with this shade and I'm just setting the rest of my face with it before I go in with my contour shade. Now I'm going to go in with the Huda Beauty powder. That is a bit too much. I took a lot. And I am setting the areas I concealed with a concealer. The areas I highlighted with a concealer. So I'm going in with this brush and with this contour powder, and I'm going to do my contour. I'm placing this just a little bit above the hollows of my cheek, and I dab it. I dab it all over, and then I blend it upwards towards, where I put the concealer, and then blend it into my forehead, my hairline around my forehead. So dabbing, blending upwards, going along my temples, and the hairline on my forehead as well. So then I go down my jawline on both sides of my face. So I'm just pressing the powder in. I don't swipe it away, I don't sweep it off. I press it in. Like I said, I'm oily, so I need all the powders that I can get. So I'm just trying to pat everything together with the beauty sponge. So I'm going over the contour again. And then I'm going into this e.l.f. palette, and I'm going to be using that shade on the bottom right. First, I'm doing reverse contouring before I place the blush. Now with the blush, I place it sort of like in between where the highlight is and my contour shade, and then I go towards my temple area. This is how I prefer to apply my blush. And I just blend it in and take it up to my forehead as well. So now I'm going back into this powder palette, and I'm taking that other shade, and I am trying to put everything together. Now I am not swiping, I'm not swirling, I am just dabbing it all over. I'm dabbing the powder all over my face because I do not want to move the products. Now I'll be going into the Huda Beauty translucent powder again, and I'm going to use it to do a technique called buffing. Buffing is when you just, you know, blend everything together. So this is the buffing that I'm doing, blending everything together. And this one, you don't even know where contour starts and ends. You don't know where blush starts and ends, but I think I used a bit too much, so my blush reduced drastically. So I'll go back in and apply a little bit more blush, and I'm trying to clean up the reverse contour that I did over there. Don't forget to clean that up. Now back to the eyes. I am applying this pencil liner, black pencil liner from Bethmein, which is a Ghanaian makeup brand, and I am just applying this in my waterline. So now I'm going to go in with this eyeliner. This is from Kat Von D, called the Tattoo Liner. And this is how I'm doing the inner tear duct. So you have to be really careful about this. Just follow the shape of your eye in your inner tear duct. Don't try and make it bigger or anything. Just follow the shape of it. And then extend it just a little bit, extend it just a little bit. You really need to take your time with this, otherwise you could easily mess this up. So now I'm going to go along my lash line. I'm not going to have like a real line, a real eyeliner. I'm just going along my lash line very close to the lashes, almost like I'm creating a tight line, like I'm tight lining. So I'm doing the same thing on the other eye. So now I'm going in with this Too Faced mascara called Damn Girl, and I'm applying this on my lashes. And then I am lining my lips with the same pencil I used for my brows. And after lining it, I'm going to be blending it with my finger, blending it towards the inner part of my lips with my finger, so that it's well blended before I apply the lipstick. I'm going to be using a pink lipstick from Color Care Cosmetics. I think it's also a Ghanaian brand, I'm not too sure. And then I'm blending it, both the liner and the lipstick, together with my finger. Now I'm going with this Fenty Beauty lip gloss, their Gloss Bomb lip gloss, and I'm applying it and blending it together, pressing my lips together. I am doing the Cupid's bow, highlighting my Cupid's bow with a shade from the eyeshadow palette I used earlier. Then I'm going in with this Cover FX setting spray, applying it on my beauty sponge and applying it all over my face. Okay guys, so this is it. I'm done. This is the final look. I hope you love it, and I hope you learned a thing or two. I hope you can recreate this. I hope you can learn this, and yes, it will lift your eyes and yeah, open it up as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.